Hello, and welcome back to Alpha Art Gallery's Meet the Artist series. Today we will be speaking with Tsveta Ubcheva, a Bulgarian photographer and jewelry maker based in Varna. She will be showcasing her new series called Universe at our upcoming photography exhibition. The Universe series explores objects in nature that follow the Fibonacci sequence, golden rule of proportion, and principles of sacred geometry. Her works feature several overlapping floral elements that are composited into a perfectly geometric sequence. The series has a symmetrical look that is symbolic of order and balance, bringing a sense of peace to the viewer. Tsveta is also showcasing a set of jewelry in this exhibition that is inspired by the flower of life. The flower of life is the most sacred geometric symbol, and the shape is formed by a series of circles configured in an overlapping hexagonal sequence. The flower of life is said to bring harmony, luck, and balanced energy, as well as protect the wearer from harm. You can see this jewelry, as well as her photographs, on display at Alpha Art Gallery in early 2025. Thank you so much to Tsveta Ubcheva for sitting down to talk with us, and we hope you enjoy the interview.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Alpha Art Gallery's Meet the Artist series. My name is Ikra Mohammadi and I'm joined with Sean Yu, another curatorial intern here at Alpha Art. Today, I'm also joined by the talented artist and photographer Tsveta Ubcheva, based in the Varna area in Bulgaria. Ubcheva is not only an artist, but also a chemical engineer, using the transformative power of art to connect individuals to their higher states of being within the universe. In today's conversation, we'll be exploring her artistic process and discussing the pieces she has graciously contributed to for the New Brunswick Art Salon photography exhibition of her photography and jewelry works called the Universe series. To begin, I'd like to ask a very simple question. Tsveta, how are you today? And please tell me about yourself.
Hi, Ikra. Hi, Sean. Nice to see you in this Zoom meeting.
Nice to see you.
I'm fine. I'm fine today. I'm glad to see you.
You as well.
And I am grateful. I'm so grateful to be part of a New Brunswick Art Salon photography exhibition of Alpha Art Gallery 2025.
And please tell me about yourself.
Curiosity was the reason I started to study photography in 2008. At that time, I had my own fashion business. I was raising my children, but I found time to embark in something new, to develop new skills. Photography is a virtual art. When I started to study in Varna Photo Cinema Club, I didn't know that I would be engulfed in it so much. In fact, I am an energetic and active person, and I practice a lot of different sports. Also, I do yoga, meditation. I adore to dance Caribbean dances. But after 1.5 years studying photography, when I graduated, I have found out that photography gives me opportunity to express myself the best way. After that, I studied in a school of modern photography, Photoconcept. There, I realized that in photography and in art as a whole, you should not follow classical rules only. Everything that comes to your mind and it's in your imagination can be possible. You can mix media, you can use different shooting techniques, all types of cameras, filters, lenses, photo editing programs, to be able to express your ideas the best way. And that makes me feel free and to be myself when I start new project.
Wow. So fashion, jewelry, photography, artist, it, you're so ambitious. I'm very inspired by you.
Thank you.
Of course. So I wanted to ask, how do you typically start a new project? And what does the brainstorming and planning process look like for you?
Every time is different way. Sometimes I work spontaneously. Sometimes I create an intention and begin to try options and consider the result. It's important to be inspired by something you've experienced or by someone. For example, when I visited the private gallery of a very good Bulgarian painter in old part of Plovdiv city, his abstract works and his personality resonated with me and gave me the desire and courage to make something unconventional, abstract works with a message. That formed my intention. And I started curiously to try and experiment different shooting techniques, being convinced that in photography all kinds of ideas are possible. I created my series Levels of Human Consciousness. I wanted to visualize something intangible. I make negatives of a rocky surface, trying to find levels, layers, and faces. You can see this series in the previous Alfa Art Gallery Salon, Photography Salon, or The Art of Perspective, or in my website, tsvetaphotography.com.
Great. Thank you so much, Sweta. I'm looking forward to check your website. So Sean, do you want to take over?
Yeah, I guess you already touched upon this topic, which is inspiration and influences. I guess being able to be open and embrace all kinds of inspirations is really central for you. But so I want to know that what inspires you in your creative journey?
People and art. I like traveling, exploring, and enjoying new places, nature, traditions. I also like to visit good galleries around the world. I'm delighted when see the most valuable and creative pieces of art. For example, last year when I was in New York, I visited Metropolitan Museum. But I'm convinced that good art photography is not necessarily connected with travel only. You can make it in your studio or at home. I'm convinced that the process of developing an improvement as an author is endless. That's why I want to continue learning and advancing.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's really inspiring. So moving on maybe to your universe series, can you elaborate on the subject matter of your photography in the universe series and what are you trying to convey?
Series Universe contains 19 photocolleges, which represent sacred geometrical symbols and fractals. I worked with objects from nature, like flowers and shells. I use their colors, shape, and positioning, digital and geometrical proportions to be able to create symbols like flower of life, seed of life, fruit of life, golden spiral, yin and yang, etc., and fractals. When I started this series, I was not very familiar with the theory of sacred geometry and fractals. I just wanted to create photos that would influence the viewer on a subconscious level, charging him with positive energy, beauty, and finesse.
Lovely. And we have some of your work right here, including some of your jewelry. So amazing to hear what your inspirations are.
So I know that from your artist statement that you're really interested in Ivaylo Melchizedek's The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life. So I'm really curious about what initially drew you to it and how have sacred geometry, as you mentioned, the Fibonacci sequence, and other spiritual or philosophical influences shape the central themes for the universe series.
As I mentioned, I have been practicing yoga, reading, and developing for years. I'm interested in the subject of developing intuition, levels of consciousness, the connection with the subconscious, etc. I asked myself questions like, what are the fundamental laws in the universe? What are the principles on which it was created and how to visualize them? I focused on the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio. It was a spring, and I began to observe nature waking up, to photograph different flowers frontally from above. Most of them followed the Fibonacci sequence, but some didn't. In Photoshop, I took the selected images out of context and decided to modify them with several layers of different opacity to give them depth. They started to vibrate. After that, I made golden spiral with shells the same way. I remember that I have read Yuval Melchizedek books, The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life. And after that, I create Flower of Life and other symbols from the sacred geometry inspired by his book.
So I wanted to talk about how your creative processes, including how you incorporate natural objects, digital editing in Photoshop, and specific themes like harmony and proportion. I know we recently touched on this, but is there anything else you'd like to add?
When I was working on this topic, it was constantly in my mind. I looked everywhere for suitable flowers and shapes. I shot them indoors with a macro lens and a dedicated macro flash and a tripod. I used manual focus mode on the lens. We know that a macro lens has a very short focus. Therefore, I took a series of photos, 8, 9 pieces, with different depth of focus. Then in Photoshop, I would select only the area in focus from each photo. So I was getting an image that has focus, detail, and clarity. I cut the flower according to its shapes. Taken out of context, it was already beginning to have a new impact. To get the depth on the image, I made 6 layers with different opacity, and it began to vibrate. So I used objects from nature, their shapes, colors, to make sacred symbols and fractals. This process was long, and it took me more than a month to complete one image. Now there are special staging programs that automatically select the places in the image that are in focus. And it's now much easier to create a new artwork. The universe series is open and can be supplemented with new images.
Yes, the vibration that you talked about, like I have your pieces around me right now. I've never seen something like this before, and it's so powerful, even just looking at it. And I can't imagine how you felt looking at it in real life.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm glad that you feel it, because it's really influence people.
Yes, it really is something. I would like to ask, much of your work in the Universe series features cosmic mathematics and sacred geometry. Could you explain these concepts to us? How do you think cosmic mathematics and sacred geometry play a role in maintaining the order of our universe?
All in the world is energy in a constant state of change. Its fluctuations, impulses, wavelength, rhythms, and cycles of vibrate order can be described mathematically and geometrically. The total number of energies does not either increase or decrease. It constantly transforms itself into different types instead. From the dance of the atoms to the spiral shapes, galaxies, every type of movement and enlargement is managed by one and the same set of mathematical laws, and these laws, indicated as geometrical symbols, hide the very ancient secret, the secret of creation. The primordial fundamental shape in space is the sphere. Can I show you these shapes? Yes, the sphere. The sphere is the source which initiates the creation for the very first time. Initiating its swirling, the sphere multiplies and a new sphere, the same as the first one, appears. The intersected oval figure formed after the overlapping of the two spheres in their centers is called vesica piscis. This one, the second one. The sphere's multiplication carries on until the circle closes. This forms a structure of seed of life. The seed of life is a basic constructive unit which helps understand the infinite fractal structure of life. This is the seed of life. This is my interpretation. These 7 circles can be seen as our 7 chakras, the colors of the rainbow, even the music notes. The sphere keeps on swirling, but by adding 6 more spheres. The new structure is precisely the egg of life. This is the egg of life. The third vortex of the spheres shapes the flower of life. Flower of life is formed by 19, 37, 61, 91, etc., overlapping and interconnected circles. It is considered as the most sacred geometrical symbols of all. The flower of life is the ideal for elegance and meaningful beauty. I once asked a guru from Bali named Chok what he knew about the flower of life. He told me it was everywhere and in everything. These symbols relate to human life very easily. Childhood is our seed of life, the time we sow the seeds of our future life. The egg of life represents our teenage years. The flower of life is our maturity. The fruit of life is our old age. All the knowledge, wisdom, impressions, skills, abilities, culture, values, and spirituality we have built up all our lives.
Yes. It's so interesting to see how you're also a scientist and you're also so artistic, and then your spirituality all mixes everything together and it comes together so beautifully. I don't think like that, so it's very interesting for me to see another artist who is also a scientist to have these amazing thoughts that they create beautiful art with.
Yeah, I I heard about this egg of life like for the first time, and I think it's really fascinating. And I love how it sort of indicates that the childhood of like the child me is always an inherent part of like what I am right now. And I think it's really fascinating to learn about. And there really is a sense of tenderness along with the more scientific side of it.
Yes,
Yes.
it's really nice um, to look at these symbols, to touch them, to work with them, to try to understand them. It's really nice.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. So I want to move on to the jewelry series of your artistic work. So I would like to ask that your jewelry designs depict the flower of life. So can you explain its importance and how it ties into your artistic themes?
I had an invitation to a solo exhibition in the city of Plovdiv at the Arsenal of Art Gallery, where I was going to show photographs from my series Universe, printed on the bond, some of them 100 per 100 centimeters sizes. Before that, I had the opportunity to visit the Museum of Modern Art in Frankfurt. There I saw an author who had developed his team using different media: video, installation, text, drawings, collages, etc. And then I decided to prepare silver jewelry and to make a 3D video about the flower of life. So I would interpret the topic of my own way and with different approaches. I wanted to the exhibition to be interesting and in my own style. The exhibition consisted of three parts: photography, jewelry with the symbols of flower of life and seed of life, and a 3D video of how it was formed according to my vision. The exhibition was a success, and then it took place in three more large galleries in Bulgaria, in Varna, in Sofia, as a part of International Weeks of Photography, and in Burgas. It turned out that the jewelry was very well received by the public.
That is so great to hear. I'm sure it is. I'm sitting with some of your jewelry right now, and it looks amazing to me as well. I really see the different things. You have some brooches, you have some rings, and you have some earrings, necklaces. It's beautiful. Oh,
Yeah.
you're wearing them right now. Lovely.
So what is the manufacturing process like for your jewelry? Like what materials are used and how are the pieces created?
I made the design of the flower of life and seed of life in various sizes and thickness, and a professional jeweler made them. The jewelry is made of silver sample 925 and has a quality certificate. There are also many options for creative ideas. We made necklaces, different sizes and thickness, earrings, rings, and bracelets, most different models, some with zirconia or semi-precious stones, classic or modern design. The jewelry, as well as photographs, are limited edition, depending on the model and size.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm looking at them right now as well, and I'll bring them in here. This is one of them, right? They're different colors. They have different ways of holding. I have a few rings as well. They are gorgeous. They're gorgeous,
Thank you.
of course.
Is there anything you would like to add or talk about?
Yeah, I just want to ask about you talked about your website and how we can access it. I wanted to know about the next step for the series.
I would like to mention that the 3D video shows how the flower of life is formed. We are familiar with its 2D projection, but it is a special form. I was curious to know how it looks like. The music is by my friend, the jazz guitarist Ivan Manalov. And after that, I decided to make various souvenirs with these beautiful shapes, beautiful symbols. And I make tablecloths, a puzzle, teacups, t-shirts, hot drink coasters, etc.
That sounds lovely.
Thank you very much.
So your style of photography is so unique and different. How did you come up with developing this style?
At the time when I started the Universe series, I participated in Ivaylo Stoyanov's Masterclass on conceptual photography in school Photoconcept. So I had his support. At the same time, I developed my knowledge in Photoshop. I took very good full frame camera, the best Nikon's micro lens, and a special micro lights. I was sure how to shoot the flowers and shells, but for editing in Photoshop, I tried many variants and colors till I found the best result.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for your time. And honestly, your passion shows through all of your work, the way we are talking today. And it's really inspiring, as we are also young artists that are inspiring artists.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much, Tsveta, for being here with us today. We can't wait to see your work at our exhibition titled Beyond the Image, Unveiling Hidden Narratives, which will be on view from January 14th to March 29th, 2025. Thank you again and have a great rest of your day.